Yes, good morning, dear viewers of Gaza Media. This is Saturday morning, November 30th. We're almost at the end of the month, getting to December, the Christmas time. Today, on our regular program, uh, Meet the Press or Press Time, we'll be discussing some of the issues, focusing on Lebanon and Menji Municipal Council. But before then, we'll have some announcement to make. That the fundraising for Belua to build the church will be taking place this evening in Cameroon at Silicon Hotel around Mile 17. And also the bishop visit to the BLM, which will include Fonjumeto, Tabong, and Fontem and Nazi parishes. But I think the bishop is coming through Tinto. Will start the tour, the pastoral tour at the Menji or Fontaine Parish, and later on move to Razi, then for Tabong, Fonjumeto, like that. So throughout the program, I will call Father Matthews, who is the parish priest for Menji, so that he may come in and maybe talk to the parishioner of that parish in Menji. And but before then, please, if you are just tuning in, share the link uh, so that people can listen, people can call the regular number 606-545-2490 and participate. But on our panel today, we'll have Matthews, who is a representative of the civil society. Let me bring him in here. Then we'll also have Dinkama Songtia, who is filling in for Bembo Ale, who will be representing Kelebang. As you know, Kelebang has been very vocal, very instrumental just for the past 2 months in dishing out information, trying to seek for the truth, shining the light. And of course, we'll have Barrister Ayan, who will be joining us from Boya, uh, who is the leader of the anti-corruption and legal aid services in Boya. He's a legal counsel by profession. I think his network is saving, so sometimes he will be coming in and out. Uh, Before we dive into the program today, I want to welcome all of you. Yes, is the network an issue? I think there was some issues with there was some issue with the network. Anybody having problem with network?
You should say, I think you hear us all 100%.
Okay, yes, okay, good. Yeah, Barrister, I think Barrister is the one that the network keeps shaking. So yes, Mr. Matthews, can you just give us a brief update of the fundraising that is taking place this evening in Cameroon? Maybe he cannot hear me. Okay, I will skip him and move on to stay on Belua. Let's just finish up and complete the discussion at Belua. Yes, in the Kamaso, I think I will throw this question to you. When Kerebank started, uh, there were issue of shining the light, bringing, exposing, or the abandoned contract or unexecuted or whatever the situation may be that were not completed. Then the issue of a school toilet, Abelwa, came up. The person who was in charge of that contract, the contractor, owner that he almost did the job until at the point of completion, the doors of the toilet or the panel were left to be put on. And for some reason, the crisis, they left. He promised that he will be coming back to fulfill that, to meet up with that contract. Are you in touch? Or is there any update from that end?
Good afternoon and good morning, everyone. I will just go into that question straight on. Um, the way Kelebang is acting was working is that there is a synthesis group at the background, and most of the information that we have is going from Kelebang, which is open to all contractors, Lebang people, any person who wants to join. with the goodwill of fostering the ideas of Nkole Kelebang, to listen, get information, and act on it. But then my role here today is not even to say what those synthesis groups are doing at the background. And as you rightly said, Dr. Ernest, is that the contractor got in touch and said things were not going and he had to stop somewhere. That's the much I can say at the time. Because for Nkele Bank, it is the post or bring out any information that is available directly to the community itself on Nkele, and where possible, reach out to the individual contractors or executors of the various projects. Now, um, I, from the forum of Nkele, may not be in a position to say exactly what has been the relation between Nkele and the individual contractor. But with it to come, Nkelebang and Bimbuale would be able to give the bank people how far each of those projects is going. And as we've been saying, and he has been saying all along, once any project is said to have been identified as completed in real time, that's on the ground, most of those projects will not even show Nkelebang. So,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. So I wanted to say, okay, now as a member, considering the fact that you may be part of the leadership of Nkelebang or the administrator or whatever, as a good citizen of Nkelebang, can you now say you want that contractor to come back and complete the work as is promised?
Oh, definitely, definitely. That's exactly what the bank people or Nkelebang is out for. I would say, to the best of my knowledge personally, I will use the word personally because I was not delegated to divulge any specific information about that project here.
Mhm.
But what we are expecting is that that contractor should follow through with what you and I know publicly. But to know at this very time, this Saturday morning,
Yes. Okay. Okay. Okay.
gone
Okay.
on.
Yes. I wanted to compare with Matthews. It appeared with the logging in with cell phone now uh, is a little bit kind of. I will just go now. I will not follow the program. I will just go with what the network permit us. Let me get back to Barrister. Barrister, the last week we were talking about. The strategy that before us in the bank. That is something that, apart from the crisis, that is something that touches the bank. That were not our custom, our culture is not the kind of one that if you have a dispute or a misunderstanding with somebody, you will block with a gun. But unfortunately, the situation happened. Have you learned of any investigation and understand that last week you were calling on the authority that be in the BLM to open an investigation? Have you heard of any update or anything?
The network is really bad.
Yes,
Can you
I
hear?
was asking, has there been any investigation uh the death of Aminda Charles?
Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah. First of all, greetings to everybody in the house. Greetings to Nzinkemaso. Greetings to Gaza Media Inc. You are doing a great job. I admire the kind of work you are doing. Yeah. So in regards to investigations concerning the death of Mr. Minde Charles, yes, no, last weekend I appealed to all the authorities and stakeholders, especially those in the judiciary and the administrators, to initiate legal proceedings in order to see that those who are responsible for his death are brought to book and justice is served. But so far, so good. I have not seen any concrete steps that they have actually taken. Yes, but we are still waiting. We are still waiting to see the steps that the authorities they will take to see that the death of Mr. Aminde Charles will not just go like that. People should be held accountable, and though anybody who participated in the death of Mr. Aminde Charles, either directly or indirectly, should be held responsible and should be sent to jail. But however, I'm still appealing on the stakeholders, the authorities, that be the police, the gendarmes, the administrators, especially those in the judiciary. There is a state council there in Menji. Menji is the administrative headquarters of Lebi Alem. So I think by now they should have done something. You know, the hindrance that I'm having is that I'm based in Boya, and to go to Lebi Alem for that somehow, yes, it's not really easy and feasible for me. But however, I can, his death will not just go like that, because what I'm thinking is that it will get to a point where if I'm not seeing anything that the authorities are doing, then I will lodge a criminal complaint against an unknown person here at the judicial police here in Boya, because the judicial police, they have a regional jurisdiction. So at least they should be able to see how they can do something. I will even lodge a complaint at the level of the Procureur General.
Oh, sorry, we lost the barrister, the two of these people. Yeah, in the council, that's something that even when I had an interview with Jack Deacon, who is of Huntington Multimedia, he was asking me the same question: Have they launched any investigation? It was difficult for me to answer because I have no. Yeah, barrister. Sorry, you were kicked off from the network. You were saying. So in case the Menji authority of the BLM, that means the senior divisional officer, the state council,
That means the
uh,
senior divisional officer, the state council.
every, there's some people.
Oh la la.
Yeah. Nick Mason, let me continue with you.
Let me continue with you.
Yes, so this network is trouble. It's troublesome. And then I'm having an echo due from their end. So what I was saying is now where do we go from here? You know, with the Cameroon system being what it is. Uh, Normally, even if the family doesn't come forward to file for a complaint, when somebody die in that situation, it is the responsibility of the state to at least do some preliminary investigation, hold some press conference, give some press release, give out some certain communique. But that is something that we have not seen.
I think if I can say anything, Dr. Enes, and
Yes,
thanks to Gaza Media for this coverage. What Barrister Anyan was saying is that you probably don't actually have to wait until you find out whether there is an action going on in the local community or within the vicinity of the crime activity. And I believe Barrister Anyang, like any other civil individual, could just lodge that complaint with the judicial police, which is the Church of the Southwest, or General, and while they take that action from there, the local state council in Menji and the police down branch or whatever you call those gators would get, and then you'll be able to get from the state council or the judicial police how far you are to approach from, because when Charles was assassinated, the Libyan people, the Leban people, have it like you throw the bowl of vegetable on the wall, and whatever sticks sticks. Right now we have that catch net thing that you throw the catch net in the ocean, and whatever is coming in you pick from there, and the investigators have the probability, I mean the potential to find what exactly happened. They have their
Hello, doctor. Okay.
ears on the ground, and we are just making the noise, or somebody is there at the judicial Southwest or the general's office. They are the people who will call someone and say, hey, I want to know what is happening.
yes, yeah, Matthews. This is something that we're talking like about the investigation. If they have actually opened an investigation for the death of Charles Aminga, or if there have been any official communique I think the pastor was trying to explain to us, then the network went off. That he has not heard of anything. It will come to a point where he may have to open, maybe uh, write request, complaint to maybe the regional security or the judicial bench in Boya. Or I don't understand it. I say, any contribution from you? Martin, okay, let me bring Barrister in. Barrister, I know the network kicked you off. So you were trying to complete a sentence or on the possible potential investigation to be launched in Boya.
Yeah, hello. I don't know. I can't hear you people from this side. I'm not getting you.
Check your speaker.
Yeah, what do we do? There's nothing that we can do much right
Oh
now.
shit.
Yes, I was asking if you were saying that the possibility of maybe filing a complaint about a missing person in Boya, if the municipal or if the local authority in the BLM are not able to open an investigation. Okay, I cannot get them. Let us move on. Now, the issue now in the Kemaso, when Caliban started, the cry was we want contract, we want to see those contracts, we want to see those contracts. Because from the beginning, nobody knew. Everybody just knew that, oh, there was some bridge here that they didn't complete. Oh, there was water here that they started building, water was not flowing. Then later on, oh, there was a hair center here that they did some work there. Project were just like popping in randomly. They say, no, we really need to see actually those contracts and how much they worth and who those contracts were awarded to. Right now, we have seen the list of contracts and how much money was allocated to each contract. So, what would be the way forward from Ketleban?
Thank you, Mr. But
Hello,
why?
Gaza Media. Please, I
Yeah,
can't. I'm online, but I can't hear what you people are saying. So
but
I
I
don't
can hear
really
you
know
well.
what's the problem.
I can hear you.
We can hear you now. We hear you now.
We hear you. Can you hear us? Barrister, can you hear us?
Microphone is right.
The microphone is okay. Barrister, can you hear us?
Let him check his. What is that? Oh yeah,
There's some noise on their background.
yeah. Let me call.
Uh, Let me put him on mute.
I could try to call him, but
Uh, yeah, in the question, let's continue. I've muted Barrister because our years on noise. I will try to request him again to unmute.
oh,
Yes. Okay, Barrister, can you hear now?
who has that background?
The noise is coming from Boya. I hear taxi sound and stuff. It's unfortunate. But Barrister, he's on the phone. I could call him on the phone so that he could talk directly on the phone.
Okay. Yes, Doctor. You were saying.
Yes, as we were saying, let me unmute him so that because there's so much noise coming from him. Uh, yes,
I can't hear what you people are saying, but I'm connected.
yes, and I just want you. Can you just talk from here? Just maybe just discuss on the phone line.
Now I should discuss on the phone line.
Yes, just like this, so that people can still hear you through my own microphone.
Okay, we can talk now like this.
Yes. So the question that I
Okay.
was asking you was, yes, so the question that we were asking, that we were discussing, was that if Menji security authority cannot open an investigation, so what would be the next move? If, because you say
So
you could.
what I'm planning to do is that I'll give the authorities in a Menji a reasonable time to react, because no matter what we do in society, we have to respect the authorities that have been put in place. We have to wait for them to react before we come in now privately. But if after a reasonable time, the authorities that be, starting from the judiciary, most particularly the state council, went down to the commissioner of police of Menji, the commandant de brigade, then coming back up now to the divisional officer and the senior divisional officer, then going sideways now to the mayor. If they don't take any concrete step, I personally, I am the board chair and executive director of Anyang Lewis Association for Legal Aid, Social Justice, Anti-Corruption and Labor Rights. Under the umbrella of that non-profit organization, I will file a criminal complaint against X, meaning against an unknown person. It's provided for by the Criminal Procedure Code. I will file that complaint at the level of the judicial police, where the judicial police has a regional jurisdiction. The judicial police, it has regional jurisdiction. When I file that complaint there, they will initiate an investigation. And I will file that same complaint to the Procureur General, and I will appeal to the Procureur General to instruct the State Council for Menji, who doubles as the State Council for Lebialem, because there's only one legal department at the level of Lebialem, to initiate investigation to know what caused the death of Mr. Minle Stars. Also, I will file a complaint, a criminal complaint against an unknown person, to the State Council of Menji to swing to action, because they have to investigate it. If anybody dies anywhere in Cameroon, the cause of death is supposed to be known. Someone cannot die like that and they just give a blind eye. Maybe the authorities have decided to give it a blind eye. We don't know. But I will write to all the authorities to know what is the situation of that particular case, to know the situation of that particular case. And trust me, the authorities will swing to action. And when I will write that criminal complaint, if we get to that point, I will communicate the complaint. I'll communicate the complaint to the public, because I believe that people need information. Information is key, especially when it has to do with issues that concerns the public. People are supposed to be informed of whatsoever is happening. At least I will write a criminal complaint. If the authorities, they receive the complaint, then they don't want to swing to action, it will
Doctor, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I appealed, I wrote to them.
Because I can't hear you.
Matter, they decided not to. So I think that's my action plan, sir.
Yes. So when you say a reasonable amount of time, how long could that be?
Honestly, I think normally, let me first of all put it this way. If somebody dies under the circumstances,
Maybe the background system is not. I'm not connected to get what you are saying.
The authorities are supposed to react it. They are supposed to react within the maximum. Why not on the same day? Why not the next day? But let's just say normally 1 week. So when I say reasonable time to me, I'm referring to 1 month. If calculating from
I'm still unable to get you, but my mic is unmuted.
1 month from that day, if nothing is done, then I'll do all the things I've listed above to be done. I can assure the public that I'll do it. When I say that I'll do something, I'll do it. Except the authorities, they do what they are supposed to do. But if they don't do it, then I'll swing to action. And I'll present all my letters to the public. People will see. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Pastor Eyang, for being so passionate at trying to bring justice and sanity to our community. Yes, Mr. Matthew, I think, I don't know, your network line seems to be on and off. We cannot hear you, but I will hear you so well, but it seems that you cannot hear us. I don't know. I and Dinkimason Tier can hear you, can hear the rest properly, but for you, you cannot hear. Okay, now your network is off again. So, because we're moving on to the contract, Barrister, still you are still there on the line. Just stand by. We were yes, we were discussing on the issue of contract. You know, when Caliban started, people did not really know what project was what, whatever was. We just knew that there were some fish pond that was not properly done. There were electricity project that they were supposed to do it. They didn't do it the way it is. Nobody actually knew which project was which. But recently, we have seen the list of projects, and even with the possible amount of money budget located for those contracts. But the issue now is we do not know the contractors. So I was asking the council here from the perspective of Nkadaban, what do we do from here?
Okay, okay, Dr. Ernest and panelists. I was just saying that so far, what Caliban has done, and people may not even be able to see it because they are probably wanting to see that Caliban is having somebody arrested, somebody is coming up like the contractor from Belua saying something or the other. But the awareness out there already among the bank people, among Cameroon, among, I mean, councillors of the council, and the PLM people in general. Because if you're on social media, you realize that this information about Caliban is already gone wildfire. So right now, there are people, I mean, I would just to say what I think I can privilegedly say is that Nkeleban Action Group, which is realized that under the office of the president sent out a letter or a memo in addition to what Barrister Anyang sent from Boya to the mayor of Menji. And we have information that, oh, the mayor was on vacation, on whether his office is closed or whatever be the case. But people are working on the ground to the extent that private individuals from within the bank were able to fish out the list of contracts in 2023 and publish it. Now, what I will tell you, which is not coming from the inner circles of Nkeleban, is that the BLM people and that 2 days ago, there was a meeting of the mayor and his assistants and what with the rest of them about what Nkeleban is doing. Everybody was on the alert. They had a meeting in Boya and it filtered out from there that everybody was already saying, it is you, this Mbembu, Nkeleban, this and that. So that awareness has already been created, and this is what Nkeleban was all about. Let people sit out. The whole noise is about who is this Mbembu Ale and Nkeleban in that meeting of yesterday in Boya. Now the expectation that Nkeleban has is that should Nkeleban be making this noise and telling these people that the world already knows what you did? Can I go back and execute the project without necessarily wanting my name to be put on the pedestal that I took the project? But meanwhile, while they were in that meeting, I think this was their problem as to whether they should give out that information or not, because the mayor was there, his deputies were there in the meeting in Boya yesterday, and I believe that was intended. That meeting, we don't know the details of the meeting, but I believe after that meeting, the list of the contractors behind the contracts would surface out because
Yes,
they.
okay. Yes, yeah, in the council, Barrister, you might also step in here. Now, because I also want to think that in order to, as many people have even advocated, and sometimes you may even bear with me, that in order for somebody to know that, hey, these people are not taking this lightly, they are digging information. And this is what they are saying, that we want you to come back and do this work. If you don't come back and do this work, this will be the repercussion. It's just like when you send a child or when somebody is enrolled in school, you have the responsibility to study and pass that exam. If they say an average to pass that exam is 10 out of 20, you are making sure that you have to pass because you know the consequences that if you don't pass this exam, what will happen? You will be dropped out. If you are dropped out, what will happen to you? Probably you may never have a job in your life. So you have some consequences that will follow. Everybody understand this kind of structure. But I think what people have been asking Caliban is that what will be the repercussion if somebody come up and say, okay, he's not coming to do it. What will you do?
Okay, do you want me to answer or you want
Yeah,
Barrister?
you can go ahead.
As I said, in putting all those structures in place at the back, behind the burner.
Okay.
What Barrister Anyang has just said is just a piece of the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg to say that Nkeleban is working on the potential or to use legal but the intention of Nkeleban is that contractors should buy that for the community. And absolutely, this whole thing is about human rights. It's all
Yes,
about
yes, because one of the things that people are skeptical of Caliban is that because even when they started saying they should contribute some freeway, some little money, not a huge sum of money, so that if we come to a point where we'll need legal proceeding, that we need to file for some criminal charges or whatever the situation may be, even if you have human rights lawyers that volunteer to assist, they will need a little bit of money for transportation to maybe go to court, or maybe photocopy or whatever the case may be. But the head of Bank stood here on Gaza media and said no, he was not part of it. So how do you allude to that when you say people are working behind the scene, they want to do this, but at the same time, the leadership of Nkele Bank seems to be like, I will not be part of any fundraising.
well, Doctor. Honest and the Gaza media and the people just want to know that. You see, where the leadership of Nkeleban had some cold feet about the fundraising was because when this started, they started the blackmail, which is typical of our people, trying to give the impression to the general public that the fundraiser was to sponsor or take care of those that are in the jungle. And this anybody, when you hear that kind of language about your project that you are making for the community, you start thinking, oh, no, I don't want to be identified as sponsoring the fund.
Yes, yes. And what do you do then? I believe that if somebody accuses you for something that you are not doing,
I'm
the
coming.
honest, no, the honest thing to do is to step up, like, and have a platform and say, no, we are raising money. That is true. It is for this purpose. Not saying some other person is raising money that is their own behalf. Therefore, means that you try to distance yourself from the organization, a huge movement that you are leading. I mean, if the bank people now, I mean, we're over 800, right? And that 800 is not just number that you see. There are word of mouth that somebody will create messages and pass on to other people that are not even in the forum. People sit in their Matombo house, in their fireside, and discuss in Caliban.
Dr. Ernest,
And
was still talking about this.
yeah,
I was still talking about that. So to the extent that after that fund that was shut down or suspended, and this other gentleman has been killed, and Barrister Anyang has come up with as a civil rights lawyer, a human rights lawyer. The group is already thinking, as of yesterday, of how to go about it. And as I said earlier, this is not the information that we just want to divulge without a concrete line of action. So Nkeleban is already thinking about how to get about his own, because if we are going to use legal personnel or civil rights lawyers, as we are actually saying, or human rights lawyers to pursue this, definitely there's going to be some funding or some support structure. And
yeah,
then that we want to let the bank, members of Kelebank, to know that, hey, that was already coming up. Caliban, because people back either in Yaoundé or whoever behaves, relatives and friends of the contractors, wanted to use that blackmail to diverge Caliban from doing what they were. Now that that noise made, what has happened with the death of Charles, because Charles was actually for this cause.
Sure.
They applied to raise funds to support any person who is working on this project would never definitely see the light of day.
Okay.
And at that point, I cannot give you the clear position of it, but people, the group is working behind the scene about how to come up with the funding arrangement.
Okay. Yes, Barrister, let me come back to you. Now, the issue, I remember you have filed a request for document from the mayor office. I understand that Nkeleban wrote a similar weaker letter than even yours, and the mayor responded that he was on administrative, no, he was on leave.
Exactly.
Yes. Now, we have had the list of contracts. We don't know who the contractors are. So what do we do? Any legal advice or any kind of advice to Nkeleban? What they should be doing?
Yeah, so as I wrote that letter to the mayor, he called me, we spoke. He said that he's on leave. When he comes back, he will get to me, he will receive the letter, and he will actually set up a meeting with the stakeholders from my NGO to meet with the council people, and we shall have a working session wherein we shall be able to ask whatever question we would like to ask and get any information we want to get. So for the time being, we are waiting for the mayor to come back. Then, however, since now we have the list, in fact, it's a partial list because it doesn't contain all the contracts. We have a list of some contracts that were supposed to be executed there in the Menji municipality under the umbrella of the public investment budget and under direct supervision of the Menji council. Since we have that the list of those contracts is very good. That's good information, but that information is not conclusive. We cannot act on that. Why can't we act on that? We cannot act on that because we don't know the status quo of those contracts. Whether all the contracts have been executed, partially executed, or whether they have paid all the money for those contracts. And we don't even know the contractors. And that's why you see it's very important that we get to meet with the mayor. When he said he will be coming back very soon. So hopefully we shall meet him to get the information. Because when we meet now with the mayor, we shall get to know the status quo of the contracts. Which contractors were awarded those contracts and whether they have executed the contracts, partially executed the contracts, or whatsoever the situation of the contracts. And let's not forget that 2024, we are still in 2024. We have not entered 2025. The contractors still have like a month to do what they are supposed to do. But whatever the situation, we really need information to know the status quo of the contract. It's from the information telling us the status quo of the contract, of the execution of the contract, that we shall know whether we shall prosecute, we shall initiate a criminal complaint against the contractor, the mayor, and all the stakeholders involved or not. And maybe for some of the contracts they have executed already. Yes, for the ones that they have executed, okay, normally we say that one we'll give them a pass mark there. But for the ones that they have not executed, they will take legal proceedings to make sure that they do the job, or if they are not doing the job, they have to give back the money. Because if you have not executed the contract, you should give back the money. If you have been paid all the money,
Yes, but
you have to give back.
yes, Barrister, let me interject a little bit. Now, your letter, were you actually requesting to have a meeting with the mayor, or you were requesting for the mayor to submit documents to you that you can sit in your office, maybe with your team, study them, go through them? When the mayor is saying he has to, you invite you when he comes back and have a working session with him. Will you have an appropriate time to actually study the document, say in a sitting of an hour?
No, like I wrote to the letter, I wrote to the mayor requesting to have all the information relating to all the projects under the municipality, and to also have a meeting with the mayor, because they cannot just, it's not just good to just collect documents. It's like a relationship. We are working together. We are following up the activities of the council. It's not just having the information. So when we have the information, it may start with a meeting. We have the meeting, we ask our question, we say we need this, we need this, we need this. Please furnish us with the following information. They give us the information, and it's a continuous process. Normally, if we are studying the contracts, the status quo of the contracts, normally we must always be going back to the council. Okay, what about this? Has this been done? Why is this like this? We must always be requesting information. So it's good to have that working relationship with the mayor. It's good to always have that working relationship with the mayor. It's important. So I think that's how I see it. Even at the end of my letter, I said we are looking forward to having a meeting with you in relation to all the above.
Yes, sure. Even when we started, I think 2.5 months ago, I requested the mayor that certain information furnished to Gaza media, if you will, so that we can communicate to the public, because we have a channel of sending out information. Just that for the past couple of weeks now, I've not been able to communicate with the mayor. It's always good to have that relationship. Like we said, we are not basting each and everyone. I think in the Nkomaso, custodian of the culture tradition would agree with us that they were requesting that if these people could just come and do this work, we'll not even be talking about legal action and anything of that sort.
No, exactly.
So in the Nkomaso, when you see this list, even here the barrister is saying it's a partial information. I mean, from our tradition, from the core principle of humanity, life, amount of money. I was just looking it through here where you see millions of money pump in. I mean, total 59 projects, this over 1 billion francs sent to the BLM in general. And here, we are here in the US talking about the BLM paradise. We are here raising money to go construct, struggling to construct as the high stretch of road. That yet you see a chunk of money like this, and nothing is actually done.
Please permit me say that if you look at the public investment budget and you see the rate of the execution of the projects, I think Menji Council is 40-something%, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, 40-something%, and you see that November, we are at the end of November, it's left just 1 month. So I'm thinking aloud, what kind of miracle would the council and the contractors do to see that they execute all the remaining 50-something percent by the month of December? So it concludes already. It concludes already that there is foul play. It concludes already that there is misappropriation, there is embezzlement. Of course, because when they say public investment budget for a particular year, they are supposed to execute it for that particular year. It's not supposed to cross over to the next year. Because from 2025, there will be another budget allocation. Another set of projects will be awarded to the council for them to execute. So I just wanted to raise that issue that there is a question mark somewhere when it comes to the execution of those projects, of those contracts.
Yeah.
There is a serious question mark, but we shall get there. We shall unlock all the issues eventually.
Okay. So yes, I mean it was in the commercial. I don't know. Maybe you stepped out. So the question was the morality that people. I mean, you see so much money like this flowing into our community, but actually the amount of work is nowhere near. I mean, this doesn't take somebody. It doesn't take forensic science. It doesn't take a lot of arithmetic to do certain calculation to figure out that this amount of work is not even worth. I mean, half of what that money that you see on papers.
What you said, Barisanya, you just echoed is that if you look at all those projects and the way those who wrote the projects, it was like it was intended to fail. You see, it was like it was intended to fail in some areas. Now, think about it. A project for rehabilitating the road from probably Genset Ngo through Three Corners and then Chentham, and filling potholes and the rest of it during the heart of disorder in the southwest and northwest regions, and nobody was there. Probably in the next budget, investment budget, they will not allow any money to be put on that road anymore. You see, this is where Calabar is coming from. In the next investment budget, they may not fund rehabilitating that portion of that road anymore. And that is where we are saying that if you did not do this in 2023, and you had the funds, and the governor of the Southwest Province even had a meeting the other day where he was referring to them, people have actually taken the funds out. Bring the funds that you took for 2023 to rehabilitate that road. And of course, you didn't do it. No bulldozer, nothing, no equipment was plying that road in 2023 because of the crisis or because the idea that, oh, nothing was going on in security, on safety issues. We know that very well. Anybody that was in Menji didn't see any equipment running. Bring that money and use it. And I think they will have to negotiate the terms with Kelebang and those who represent Kelebang and the bank people in how to execute those projects. I mean, we are just I was just giving a simple example.
Yes.
What about the water that is not flowing? How can you account for it? The taps are not even standing there. Electricity supply to any of those boreholes or that they built, like the one Charles was slaughtered on the video, doesn't even have electricity. But then if you look at the contract details or the job description, all of those should have been there. So what Gelebang is still saying is that the mayor will give us who the contractors are, then Gelebang will now move directly to them. As you said, the idea is not to go to court. It's a lengthy process. And if you remember, people were threatening that, oh, they'll get their in-laws, their brothers, or their whoever who are at the Supreme Court, the Ministry of Justice to block and so on. If we go by civil right, you will not just stop it. Even the Minister of Justice or Director of the Ministry of Justice may tell a judge in Menji or say, oh, don't take that case. No. But the fact that if you are a true son of the bank,
But sometimes, your defender will always have tactics.
yeah,
Remember, the
they,
sabotage, the fundraising. So they may probably always say anything that they can say to threaten or to frighten you. So that you should I believe that if you have a solid case, the barrister, I think that if you have a solid case, you have complete of the contract. You have those contractors that were allocated to them, the amount of money, you have the job-in order, the details. If you go there and do investigation, interview the local, have video and images or whatever were constructed. Remember, Charles was saying the solar panel, there was supposed to be a hub where the solar and the charging station will be located inside. That will be a communal something. Somebody went and put it on somebody's house. If you have evidence, call evidence. With the dropping order saying you're supposed to build a hut for this so that any person can have access to it. On the contrary, you are showing that this is where the solar power is located. You take that up with proper recording and everything. A lawyer prepare a serious file and put it in court. I don't think they know that if this thing goes to court, they are gone. That's why they will have to develop any tactics.
I think, Dr. Ernest, there is something which Arisa Anyang is.
Can I please say something?
Okay, yes, just hold on. Yes. Okay,
Yes,
go on.
what is that in relation to the issue that maybe a minister or somebody who in place will cause the fight not to go ahead, it comes to this issue. What is important first is to have the evidence. That one is very important. If I have built my case file very well, if we have evidence and we still want to initiate legal proceedings, trust me, Nobody can stand to stop it. Nobody. Even a minister cannot do it. As a lawyer, I know the provisions of the law and I know everybody's limitations. Even the minister, the judges, left and right, wherever they may be placed, they have their limitations. And if anybody decides not to go on with a case because of maybe personal interest, like for instance, if a magistrate is sitting on a file and he decides not to hear the case because maybe of some personal kind of things that he doesn't want us to know, or maybe they've called him or her to stall the matter, I can file criminal actions against that magistrate because you don't have the right to sit on a file. You don't have that right. It's high time in Cameroon we start taking up issues the way they are supposed to be, because if there's a legal wrong somewhere, then the law is out there to redress it. And we have the courts to make sure that there is justice. And even the court, if the courts don't want to do their job, they can also be held legally liable not to do their job, and they can be sanctioned. We should know all these things. So what I'm just trying to say is that all we need is evidence. If we have the evidence that such contracts were awarded, they were not executed, and the money was paid, we can build a case file and we initiate legal actions, and all those who participated directly or indirectly in that contract process will be brought to justice and they will be punished. That one coming from me as a lawyer, I'm telling you, we can achieve that. But the most important thing is that we need the evidence. Because without evidence, you cannot do anything. Case goes nowhere.
Okay, yeah, Barrister, thank you. Yeah, in the case of, you want to add something to what the barrister just explained?
We started by saying that Nkeleban is not at this point going to court with anybody, but we doesn't take the fact that that may happen. And one of those areas that it may happen would be where a legal mind like Barrister Anyang, on behalf of Nkeleban, may go to court to sue the main rural council to say they are asking information about what is of public interest. The public has the right to know. The public has the right to know who was the contractor for A, B, C, D projects. And if the mayor is not willing to do that, it's just a question of filing an action with the Menji High Court or the Court of First Instance in Menji to say, hey, I representing Nkeleban is asking for the mayor to make this information for us for information purpose. And the mayor cannot hold that down. So that's why I'm saying that at this point, Nkeleban is thinking that, okay, we want to be in partnership with the mayor. If the mayor is not being the perpetrator of these problems, the mayor work on our side. Let the project be executed. Let the community benefit for what was intended to be theirs. We don't really, Caliban is not really out.
Yeah, yes, as simple as that.
Thank you.
Yes, and I think, and that's where even though last time I don't want to go into it, that Caliban need to figure out a way to actually get authorization, become authorized, where you can really, if you go to somewhere, you are represent somebody, you have to show your letterhead. Hey, I'm here on behalf of this. I need some information, etc. I think that was trashed last week.
Yes. No, it's very important for, like I reiterated the last time, it's very important for Nkeleban to get registered. Yeah, because it's not, when you write such letter, people ask about, is this association legally registered? They want to see the certificate of registration. And if you cannot present a certificate of registration, you see that even the court, they will be reluctant to heed to your request because you have not registered. Maybe even the authorities also, maybe even the mayor may say that, but this association is not registered. So maybe in the eyes of the law, I should not give them information. So that's one of the main shortcomings that Nkeleban has now. It's very important for any association to get registered under the 1990 law. I'm talking as a lawyer, and the provision of the law is very important because all of us, we human beings, we are governed by the law. Mm-hmm. It's good that no matter whatsoever we are doing, we are registered. And you see this issue, some people saw how they were contributing inside the Nkeleban group to see how to hold authorities accountable. And they started spreading rumors that they are contributing that money to sponsor whatsoever they said. But if Nkeleban had that registration document from the senior divisional officer, It will have been very okay. You just brandish that document, and it will be very okay. Anybody who sees the registration document will say that no, but this association is recognized by the law, and what they are doing is under their objectives as contained in their certificate of registration, and that goes a long way to protect Nkeleban. So I will still insist that is very important for Nkeleban to get registered. And even the issue of getting funding and all that, it's good that when people, even all us individuals, when we see that Nkeleban has registered, it will be easier for us also to donate to support the activities of Nkeleban. So that's just what I wanted to say, and I insist. It's very important. Some stakeholders of Nkeleban, they don't see it as important for them to get registered, but I think it's not okay.
Yeah.
This kind of group, and we have to know that our society where we find ourselves is not normal for authorities to be held accountable. When authorities see that people are asking questions in relation to projects, in relation to money, in relation to contracts, it's like they are surprised, and they are not easily convinced to dish out information. So it's important that we, first of all, at the level of Nkeleban, we should protect ourselves. We get legal so that we can be able to do things in a legal way. And also, if you don't get registered, how will Nkeleban go to court? You cannot go to court if you are not legally registered, because the law clearly states that only registered associations they have the power to sue and be sued.
Yeah, sure.
So
I mean, even Barrister, I think you are very correct. Even any individual, probably you have to show anywhere you enter, you have to show your ID, right? Who you are, is able to proceed anything. So, when an organization register, that document becomes,
like you see the application I wrote to the mayor using the letterhead of the non-profit organization of which I'm the head.
Yeah.
That association has been registered. It's a legally registered association recognized by the law. If they say, okay, where is your certificate of registration? I'll present it immediately. And when you present it, I have the full force of the law.
Mhm.
If I want to access any court, I'll access the court. If I want to access any office, I'll access the office. If the authority sees my letter and he goes behind my letter, he sees the certificate of registration and says that no, these people are serious. They know what they are doing. And above all, they are legal. That is what is important. And we have to know that we are in a situation in the southwest and northwest, the crisis is in the air. So we should not do anything that will try to be suspicious or whatsoever. Registration and acting within the bounds of the law is very important, especially at this sensitive period. So I really appeal to the stakeholders of Nkeleban to get the association registered.
Okay.
It's very important.
Yes, thank you, Barrister. In the case of now, I think at this point in time, we do not know who are the contractor, so we'll just be maybe waiting to whenever the mayor will return from vacation and maybe provide a list. Is that where we're heading to? Is that what we're waiting?
Well, if I could say something,
Mm-hmm.
you guys will until last week or the week before, there was no formal list of those projects. As I said earlier, some benevolent members of Leban community or Nkeleban were able to fish that out. And I think, and I want to believe that the mayor of Menji and the contractors behind those projects are not willing.
Oh yeah, he got disconnected again. He was saying apparently they are not willing to release information, even though there was some information that were listed here that somebody threw it on Kelvin forum. I'm not sure because
The idea that if we don't give them, they'll still be able to get them. Because right up to FECOM, right up to the
everybody network keep shaking.
commission will
So
still be available. And there are Leban sons and daughters who are in the area of interest, who can get access to that.
yes, in the commercial, yeah, network keep. But Barrister, there's certain information here that I don't know how authentic it is because somebody just posted it on Kelebang. He listed some of the name or the company of the contractor, those contractor letterhead, and I mean it was a little bit shocking. I don't know how authentic. For example, they said the supplier of the front head loader to Menji Council by Pearson Group International was costing 100 million francs CFA. He even said the contractor is a Bamumbo guy. No equipment was delivered, yet money was cash. This is writing, it is in Caravan. I'm reading this here because that information is already out there. So I'm not saying I can authentically verify it. I mean, the person even went ahead. There are some names that he even mentioned here. They talk about the supply of water at in Dungwe behind the palace by Kana ENT for 8 million. The contractor is Alain Ndole from Alo, the gentleman who worked with the mayor Fondon in the council. You see, there's so much detailed kind of information that this person is giving here. The construction of an agricultural station at Njogwi by Cameroon contractor, 50 million. The contractor is Spring Chris for Tabon. I mean, the list is long. Uh, I can just, I mean, I don't know, because you see, I mean, then we listed some of these things. I think the one of he even mentioned about the one that I already have image for was the health center at Ndungwe. When I look at those photos, I did not see any electric. I seem not to see any solar pole on that. I cannot pull. Unfortunately, I'm not able to pull out the image right here to really show our audience the images of that health center that was renovated together with the health center at Mbindia. If you look at those images, there's no mini solar electric pole in that campus. So, but the contract is saying that they were supposed to be there. Now, we do not know if it is still able to be executed, as the barrister was saying, we have only 1 month left to go. Maybe they will go and do it overnight or in 1 month time, we do not know. But as of now, there's no solar pole at Ndumwe Health Center, even though the clinic may not even be functioning, and many others. So, yeah, I think we have been here for close to an hour. That even though the neighbor has really disturbed us today, so the Kamasong, I want to thank you for coming. So now, the way forward, Nkeleban is going through some very tough time in terms of communication, in terms of messages coming into the forum. People every time people want to bring in something else, people come on. What is the issue that What is the issue with different messages that people don't want to stay on track?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Kumba and Gaza Media. I think this is a wonderful opportunity given to Nkelebang to reiterate the purpose of Nkelebang. Anybody logging or having access to Nkelebang WhatsApp group would always see the mission, the purpose for which Nkelebang was created, and that it is about our investment, public, parapublic, community projects, just to shine the light, as they say in Nkinka, that people should see what is happening. And one of the ideas again was to create that awareness within the communities where those projects are intended to be established or to be executed, that the community become in partnership with whatever is happening. Just like Nkeleban is trying to be in partnership with the government in Menji, the SGO's office, the Ministry of Contracts, and the SGOs, that they should only be in partnership and let things happen. But there are a lot of our brothers and sisters who rather think that, hey, Nkeleban seems to have some pedestrians, they seem to have some strength, which, as the barrister is saying, we are in the process of putting all of those structures together. Now that Caliban is making the noise, creating the awareness, people think that if they have any idea or any grievance or any opinion to share with the bank people or with the bank people, they should dump it on Caliban WhatsApp group. And what the administrator, who is Mbembo, is saying is that no, no, no. What we created this group is to discuss issues related directly with the projects and in Menji or Fontaine or the bank area. If you bring any other thing, it's a distraction. And for the record, um, the moderators or the administrator has come up with something like a stop sign, which if anybody sends a message which is not related to any project or any investment project, that message will just be taken down. And if somebody sees that stamp saying that, okay, this message was taken down because it has no relevance with the goals or the mission or with the code of Caliban, they should not be surprised. Because
Wait,
what is
wait, before you finish, don't you, maybe, is it because maybe the scope was too narrow when you say in Caliban? Maybe the proper defining the scope of shining the light to investment budget, be it coming from the government, be it coming from individual, be it coming from international organization or any other organization to the bank.
absolutely
Maybe that scope was so narrow that people think that different messages are coming in because they're a little bit that they think that is still fall within that umbrella.
no, Dr. Ennis, I wish to clarify that that information is actually there, and inside Caliban, they've been talking about it every day about cautioning and referring people back to the initial message. But let me explain to you why I'm not being a devil's advocate. Let me explain to you why people think that they should bring those messages there. There are other social media platforms or groups or WhatsApp group like Ndiela, which is on WhatsApp, Lokudo USO or Lokudo General, which is on WhatsApp, um, the Bank Fondom, which is on WhatsApp. But apparently, there are issues where the bank people who are in this project area could voice some of those cultural practices or conflict practices and the rest of it. But it seems when they take them there, they are shut down. You see what I mean? It seems when they take them down there, they are shut down. Or maybe some CEOs or some moderators say, okay, this week we want to raise only funds. If you bring anything there which is not about raising the fund, they shut you down. I had that experience with Lukudo USA. I'm sorry to say that here. That if you were on Lukudo USA and you said something that the CEO did not like, they shut it down. So I think what is happening with our brothers and sisters is that
No,
this
it's the same way you guys are shutting somebody down now.
no, we
It's
are
the
not.
same.
I didn't say I am shutting. I'm saying
No,
that
I mean, you
so I'm
said the leadership of the Kudu, the same
so,
way the leadership of Nkeleban is shutting
right.
people down.
No, it talked up. The Lukudo USA and Indiala and
Nkeleban.
Lukudo Indiala and the rest of it are general platforms for the bank people.
Even
Okay,
Nkeleban.
but
Nkeleban is not for the young people.
the bank people and their friends, so kind of. But Indiala as well. But Nkeleban is specific and it actually says in their description memo what they are for and what should be brought into it. And this is at variance with what we have in those other groups. And I mean, what I'm saying is that it appears this Caliban has come like something that people say, oh, finally people are talking about what is happening on the ground in our place. And
No,
if
I know that from the beginning, but I think that, no, I'm just saying that my initial question was that maybe there are some of the activities that are like, that are not just directly linked, but they are in complexity to shining the light. That that sometimes if you are not very skillful in the way you listen to messages, some people are not able to deliver message so straight. They may have to struggle to send out the voice. Sometimes some of the messages may not be directly linked to, hey, this contractor was from this is what happened, nothing was done here. But sometimes the message may be indirectly linked to shining the light, which
Doc, those kind of situations you are talking about, Dr. Ernest, definitely they are allowed to stay. There are people,
okay.
but if let me just take a case like somebody brings. I don't really want to give specific examples because it will be like I'm
Mhm.
making petty things significant. You know, like somebody brings an issue which has nothing at all to do with any of the projects or with any of the investment, either for primary school children or elementary, secondary school children, or reopening a school with funds that have been given to either reconstruct a classroom or something or renovate a classroom. And then we say, but where are you going to with this?
And do you also see that in Kedebank is also an advocate for development?
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely.
So therefore means that maybe if somebody want to advertise some development endeavor or certain thing like that, that will also be allowed. Because
Uh,
that's where, I mean, there's a fine line, but sometimes there's a gray area. That's why I'm saying that sometimes somebody may come in and talking about certain development that are going on or whatever the situation may be. Because if you're advocating for project investment because you want those projects to be executed, then if somebody come in and showing some project that has been done, would that be allowed? I mean, in the way you have to find a gray area. So that's what I'm just saying that sometimes, even though the rules are there, you have to like say, hey, let's distract a little bit, as somebody mentioned, that sometimes you step out a little bit, then you come back.
yeah, I think as I said earlier, the moderator or the administrators that are there, they allow some information that some pieces that come just like information purpose. You see what I mean? There are some
Mhm.
cases that on maybe information purpose, not discussional purpose. But when you bring in from something which creates room for discussion on and that which are not
Okay.
related.
Yes. Uh, yes. Hold on. The caller I have Reverend Father Chomo Tiofi from Menji. The bishop is coming to Menji parish and to Aziz parish. Yes, Father. Good morning. Yes, Father. Father, can you hear me? Oh, he's not there. Yes, Father Tiofi.
Yes.
Yes, yes, good morning.
Yes, I'm getting you.
Yes, I just want you to maybe tell us briefly the mobilization right now in Menji, what is going on and what you expect from the parishioner and from Lebanon people in general in preparation of the coming of Bishop Aloysius A. Fondo.
Yes, Mr. Kuba, thank you very much for inviting me to join you on this platform. As you can see, we are expecting the bishop to join us next week on the 6th of December 2024. And so far, so good. We have done a lot of things as far as manpower is concerned. We have tidied up the church. The environment is well taken care of. And we've cleaned the environment and we have done a good number of things. I call them basics. And so far, we have received a good number of promises from the Lebanon people who are promising to really support us to see that we're able to organize these bishops coming. You know very much that it has not been easy, given that with this crisis we have lost a good number of our Christians, and basically we don't have a good number of them back home. We look forward to bishops coming, and many people are really promising to come join us so that we welcome the bishop. And the major things, like I call them, we have not been able to do anything, especially a bit of renovation in the church, some liturgical things that we need to equip the altar with, and other things, even at the level of the house. The reception of that day and a good number of things, they are still pending. And I know very much that the Fontaine man is not going to pay us. I know they are galvanizing, they are putting their resources together. They're not going to fail us. At our own end, we are doing everything to make sure that the coming of the bishop is going to be successful.
Yes, Father, I want to thank you. I know you have been so instrumental in our area, especially during the last term, the last two term holiday, where there was the Bishop Cup. I think during that period, you spearheaded. Then this last term holiday again, inspired bright future. You also step up. I mean, mobilize people. Yeah, unfortunately, Atem Talent is not here. You could talk more on that, but I really want to thank you, and I hope that
I think our brother should try to mute. There's a lot of noise coming from him, and I can't get you well.
Yes, I think Barrister, can you mute yourself, please? Yes, Barrister, can you mute yourself?
Yeah, I'm here, President. Let me know the network is not the best.
Yes, just mute yourself. Mute yourself. Mute yourself.
There's a lot of noise coming from your background.
Yes, somebody was.
I think it's okay now.
No, you don't mute. Yes. Okay. Yes, Father, you were talking about the challenges. So I was saying that at least we all understand, not just in terms of religious faith, but I think in terms of human impact, development, socio-economic. I think the Catholic Church in particular has played a very vital role. I mean, when everybody ran away, you were one of those that were left with other Father John Eta of the Precious Blood Parish at Azi, and I think Father Amos, who is now at the parish at Fortabong. Yes, I just want to encourage you that I believe that the bank people are listening and the BLM in general are listening, that they will give all the necessary support.
Exactly. I think so far, I think they have promised me a good number of things, and they have promised me their support. And this week is the final week for us to plan. So I'm looking forward to all of that. And we really need serious support from our brothers and sisters who are out there. Like I said, the bishops coming, the parish was destroyed, everything was made out. We are basically starting from crash. And therefore, I think we need to re-equip our church. The Menji church has been central in the whole of the BLM, and we need to reinforce it. We need to reinforce it so that it should stand tall. And as you know, the church needs a good number of things, but we count on the support, and of course, others are already doing something. We count on that joint support so that we can be able to have a good homecoming of the bishop, and equally to have a good pastoral visit in this area. And we know the coming of the bishop is bringing a lot of blessings, a lot of breakthrough to our land, and what have you.
Yes, thank you, Father Tofi, for joining me this morning. I know your time now is already afternoon. I hope to be in touch again with you as usual. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much. God bless you. Yeah. And thanks for always being there.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, dear panelists, and I think we're almost rounding to the end. Dinkem, I saw you were leaving. So, any last word that I just want to say? I want to thank you all for this wonderful presentation today, to really maybe educate our community, so that as the message of the bishop, he said peace and unity, and I believe that is the same message that he's carrying to our community in Lebanon and the BLM in general. He started from Esauta. He will move all the way to Fortabong and Fonjumetok parishes. I think our people have gone through a lot of trauma, a lot of hard time with the crisis that all of us know. And I think the coming of bishop will really be a healing and a spiritual healing for us to really begin to maybe settle again and get back to how life used to be.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, Father, thank you so much. And again, I will be in touch with you.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. So, Barrister, any last word before I let you go?
What I can say that
Okay, Barrister.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I think I'm hoping that when the bishop gets there, he should pray, and I'm hoping that after the bishop's visit, development in Levi Alem should be like never before, and the population, the people have left the land, which is not really good. We want life to return back there, and we need the spiritual forces to intervene also. So we hope the bishops coming to Levi Alem, it will change. It will be like a game changer for Levi Alem to take shape. We want a better Levi Alem and a stronger Levi Alem. That's all I can say now.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much. Uh, yes, thank you, Barrister Eyang, for joining us today. So we'll hope to see you again next week. Yes, hope to see you again next week. Yeah. So, you see, somebody said this to me, and I think I will state it here before you go. That if you look at our community in terms of leadership, we've been talking about the mayor. He's not resident in Menji. I'm not the one saying it. People have asked that question. If you look at our traditional rulers, very few are at home. The only leadership authority that probably will have now is the church. This father, one of these father I've just spoken to. Now the question you want us to ask is, if something happened in the community, where will people run to? I mean, this is only the church that they have to run to.
Yeah.
This is a very serious question that I know we could leave that for another section, but it's something that we must, as the bank people, as the BLM people, we must think seriously where we are heading to. That if a community, council used to be mitigate in dispute in marriages or whatnot. The palaces used to be in the form of that, but if you look at those palaces now, those chiefs are no longer there. There are few of them there. Become those big compound are no longer there. So only the church now. So that's why, my dear viewers of Gaza Media, I call upon everyone to really support the church, especially the Catholic Church, because of the kind of leadership that they have provided in nurturing spiritually to our people. The folklore, the Mariupol Center, when everybody was abandoned, when there was nothing going on, I think this is one of the fathers that took the ground and they were providing mass. That is the only people who maybe hide themselves, struggle, come there and worship and maybe socialize a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Ennis and Gaza Media, I want to first of all acknowledge Ndembuele for asking me to represent Kelebang on this particular discussion. But as they say in where which literally means that no matter what is happening, when you are doing anything, think about yourself. We believe that the crisis in West Cameroon or Southern Cameroon, so Southwest and Northwest, was very severe. But while other places are opening up, we should not lose sight of the fact that we shall take many, many decades to rehabilitate our own. There is no, in my personal opinion, not that of the Kelebang, there is no reason why other areas, other places are returning to normalcy and we cannot, or we continue to put blocks on our own way. Finally, and said, the church has also always been the leadership in development. Without the Catholic Church, the BLM that we have today will not even be there. And I just think that for anybody or any of us to still be thinking that we should put some blocks or some stuff on the road that life should not return is insane. I'm sorry to say it is insane because this stage is past. That particular stage is past. On the other hand, our traditional leaders, our cultural leaders should take the lead, as you are saying, and think about their own methods by which they want to return their palaces or their compounds to normalcy. And I'm sorry to cite the case of Nje Elebang, Chief Fungus Palace in Nje. There are people in there. Incidentally, he's out in this United States and he goes there from time to time. Before the war, before the crisis, he was already here. And that's pretty much different from the other situations. But on the contrary, that palace is booming with life and with solar panels brightly shining. We cannot lose sight of the fact that if things are insecure, they are insecure. And we just want to say that anybody who has any opportunity to use to let us return to our normalcy, let them not lose sight of it. It is our home. It is our fatherland for us to keep.
And
And
that's quite,
for Lebang that I may not have an opportunity to say anything about, please, ladies and gentlemen, Lebang people and friends of Kelebang, Mbembuala is still appealing that because of the interest we have for those projects that are coming to our people, the sensitization that has been created, people should go back and still start trying with the councillors coming back home. The councillors are also supposed to be coming back to the base.
I have another caller on the line. Sorry. Comes home. Hey, Father John. Yes.
Good evening.
Yes. Yes. Good evening. Yeah, it's morning here in the US.
Good morning.
Yes.
Greetings.
Yeah. Thank you. We're having a TV show. I think we just spoke to Father Teofi. I just say, even though we did not plan this, but I make an appointment with. I had an appointment with Father Teofi. We didn't have an appointment. I just said, let me try you if you are online. I know we've been discussing. Yeah, even one of the panelists here was talking about the role that the Kali Church have brought to the BLM people, without which we will not be where we are today. Starting, I think he was recounting the history of Father John the Road, how the missionary came to the BLM and been very instrumental. I know you represent the parish, the Precious Blood parish at Azi, and the bishop is coming. I just wanted to ask you if to give an opportunity, if you have any message that you can say to the parishioners of the Azi parish uh, in terms of preparation, the challenges, and any message that they may want to hear from you.
Okay, should I do it now? Or...
Yes, now. We are online now.
All right. In the first place, I would like to thank all the sons and daughters of Azi, especially the Catholic ones, who saw the need and the cry of the people back home, especially those in Precious Blood Azi, to rehabilitate their church that has been ruined for more than 8 years. Their effort has gone a long way to rehabilitate part of the Father's house, and the priest is living there already. Also, their effort has also cleaned the church, and it's also rehabilitating the church. Now, I say thank you to them. Their faith in the church has made them to do this. And it's just the the start. Like Oliver Twist, who says that we will not, we will need more. Yes, we will need more because the church has just been opened, and we need other things in the church. Now, they have been doing, and I believe that they can do it. And it is through the charity that the church is going to have its feet again on the ground, because everything was ransacked for the building, the inside, and everything. So, what I would say is that I should just outline the few things that are of urgent need for now and eventually. For now, like in the Father's house, we need to fix the water system in the Father's house, since everything in there has been shattered for the long time that they have not used. Also, in the Father's house, we have just few beds and mattresses. Also, we need that because most of the people who come around, who call around, they use the Father's house as their safety place and their resting house, because that's the only place that is existed now in India. Going back to the church has just opened its doors, and in the church we still need to fix the sanctuary, fix the tabernacle, put tiles on the altar, the benches in the church, the lighting system in the church, the sound system, the instrumentation in the church, and many other things around the church, like finishing the plastering of the walls outside the church and all of that. These are enormous projects that we have been listed and seen that they are credible to start with. And if the sons and daughters of Brazil all over the world put their hands together, nothing will be small to start or to contribute as your own token. I feel that our prayers have been moving mountains, because God has been using each and everyone down here to make sure that the parish start coming up again. We have been praying, we have made our program to include prayer as the first prime factor to lead to the rehabilitation and the refurbishment of the entire Church of Brazil. So for now, this is what I can say, and to tell them again that we are here to pray for them, to continually seek their help, and to assure them that God's grace is going to do something great down here in Brazil, and our church will be beautiful again.
Yes, Father John, I remember when I was talking with you, I think that was yesterday, you were discussing about the sustainability, the long term, that we should not only be looking at the preparation of the coming of the bishop, though it is important, but that even after the bishop visit, we should continue and look for a way to keep the church going in a more sustainable way. Do you want to expatiate on that?
Okay, for our church to kick off, there should be something that will sustain it. Now, for the meantime, I feel that the church's income comes from the support from the diaspora, because the people back home really have little or nothing to support the financing of the church. And if you go to study the church, there are ways of getting money in the church and running the church. Ways like the ordinary income and the other incomes. Ordinary income, we talk things like offertory, mass intentions, and thanksgiving and all of that. Then other incomes, we talk about support from benefactors and parishioners who are like out of the country, like elites, yes. So now, for this church to be able to sustain, we cannot rely on the offertory, because there are few or no persons down here. So we rely on the effort of the diaspora. And the diasporans have the duty, like a duty, it's not a must anyway, but they have the duty
The moral
to make sure
duty.
that the church stand on its feet. They can carry on projects, other projects that can help us sustain ourselves. Projects like opening a farm. What about opening a plantain farm? What about opening something that can sustain us to buy plantains, open the farm, and we put the manpower and the up to the farm. Eventually, if not the priest now, eventually another priest who comes will not be buying plantain. I'm just making an example.
Yes, no, Father.
I'm just making an example.
No, Father.
There are other activities and openings and experts with regard to rehabilitation that can make those activities. But for now, what we think about sustainability is the fact that there should be a common flow for
Yes.
the priest to be sustained. I remember some time ago I heard some fidgeting that the former priest who was here, although he was not living in jail, he was given a token every month. But since I came, I have never seen such a thing. So
No, Father, Father, I want to thank you. We'll continue with this. We will continue with this conversation, especially like I've covered other parages during documentary and reporting. I've seen what other parishes they does to sustain a community, and I will be engaging in discussion with our people. Yeah, just to put in perspective, myself, I'm from the Azzi parish. That's where I was baptized when I was probably, I think, maybe 9 years old. I was in class 6 at that time, primary school. So, Father, we'll continue to have conversation in this with regard to this. I want to thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, too.
Yes.
God bless you.
Yeah, God bless you too. Yes. Yes. Sorry. In the income that I'm taking you, we needed to really do it because this is one of the things that has been missing in our community. I don't care if you belong to Pentecostal, Baptist, Presbyterian, whatever denomination in religion. But there's one thing that I think that has a little bit gone off our community, our morals. You remember in the olden days where a mother or somebody would put some ripe plantain at the entrance of the compound. Whenever somebody is passing, if you drop 25, you buy the one for 20, 10 francs, you will pick a change. And nobody will ever steal or take away anything that he or she knows that do not belong to them. But today, I don't think that is still there. Uh, like you were explaining that the church has been very instrumental in our development endeavor. And yeah, having these two parishes in our community, that these people are stationed there. As you heard from him, that some people will even come, they will visit the village and they'll be afraid to go to their own compound that have been abandoned. They will instead run and come to where we call the sanctuary, the father house, and pass the night there. That is where we are today.
I think Dr. Enes, where we ended before the priest joined
Yes.
in
Hmm.
was to the fact that while the church is gradually coming in, and I think I followed something that the founder of Fontem said about 2, 3 weeks ago that every chief or every uh, village leader should try to get their palaces rehabilitated. And just as we could take shelter in the parish house or in the father's house, so too would a lot of people take shelter in the chief's palaces. And I was saying that none of us of Leban should be involved in anything that hinders the return of our people. That's what I was saying. And
Hmm.
going back to the church effort that we talked about, incidentally, I'm a resident of the Boya Diocese, the present Boya Diocese. I'm also a son of the Manfe Diocese, and my family and I have been with the Manfe Diocese, especially back when Archbishop Andrew Kia was there. But when Bishop Abangalo came in, it was in the heart of the crisis, or maybe around that time. So, with the return coming back, and we knowing that a priest is there, City of Wisdom has finally reopened. Hopefully, the parishes will open. And of course, as the priest said, if the Christians are not there, nobody will be there to provide the arms that usually sustain the parishes. And now that we are getting to know that they are there, the diaspora that you and I are part of, would be proud to see how we get back. We send stuff home directly to our parishes. There's no doubt about that. And I think wherever I meet my brethren from Lebang or Bele or Lokong communities, we will continue to beat that drum. A lot of us went to primary school, as you said. You probably might have gone to NA school, but we started from St. Martin's School, Fonge, which is no longer there. But that had,
And at that time, mine was government school up.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yes, NA straight to government school.
The one in Chenfen was government school. The one
Yes,
at up was actually NA
NA
before it
school.
changed the
Yes.
name to government school. So
Okay.
we cannot lose sight of the finger that fed us. So for me, just be sure that we will go ahead and I will say for myself and my brethren from Bele and those of us who came from Inje, Lekong, Bindia, we were fed by those Catholic schools around there. There was a Catholic school in Bindia, there was the Catholic school in
Okay.
Fonge,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody from that area went there right from Ka. Right from Ka. We went to school in Fonge. So I think they are, and the people are very, very hospitable towards things like this. They are very, very hospitable. I will not say for what I do not know. I know a lot of people who come from Lekong, Bindia, in Ka area where those schools were fed on. And now there is a parish in Azi that stretches to the outstations of Fonge, Bele, and the rest, and Bindia.
Yeah.
They will surely support. They will come out. With the bishops coming, that would be an indication that okay, people can now come. Because each time we went to Cameroon or went there and there was any funeral, any celebration, the priest came from Azi or from Menji in those days to participate in the opening ceremony of any event. And
Yeah,
all of
sure.
us, yeah. So
So
there is no doubt that.
even during the 30th anniversary of Chief Fomonje,
Mhm, mhm,
yeah, last year or so, yeah, uh, the priests actually left Menji. At that time, they were at the Folklore Center at Umver. Went
mhm.
up, slept at NJ for that
Yeah,
event. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So I think these people have been very instrumental. So I call upon our viewers, the bank community, the Belgium community,
Mhm, mhm.
support. I know they will do because we are seeing it from the south.
No, NJP, they will do it.
They will do.
They will do it. They will do
Yeah.
it. And you see, one of those things that we don't want to venture into, and which came up yesterday, Dr. Ennis, was what came out on Kelebang, no, on Lukudo Forum, USA, talking about people from a Z area, let me say Mankem and
Hmm.
probably going up to Belung or to Chang, something like that. Let me say a Z surrounding
Yes.
came up to say that they are doing a fundraiser to rehabilitate Azi and its immediate surrounding. And people were saying, we applauded. We said, oh, wonderful. This is so great. This is so great. And if you see what you talked about, 30th anniversary about a year or two ago, last year in Fonge, NJA,
Hmm.
it is because the NJA people have taken that bold step under the leadership of Chief Fonge. You know, it
Yeah.
bleeds some of our hearts to see that life is relatively active in Fonge, but it is not in Azi itself. But when the Azi people finally said they are moving on, I clapped for them yesterday. I said they are moving on because if Azi is active with the parish priest in Jet, I mean, with what do they call it?
Hmm.
Quasi parish
Yeah.
at Jet.
No, it's not full parish. It's not even quasi
Okay,
parish. It's not.
okay,
It's not. Yeah, it's not a full parish
right.
because the priest is
Because
station is Precious
the,
Bro.
the the Fon of Fontem and all others used to leave Mazi and go to church in Jet on Sundays.
Hmm.
So if the life is coming back to Azi and the Azi sons and daughters are taking it, boy, let's clap for them because the parish in the parish or Azi parish, which is stationed in Jet, is just going to bloom. It's
Yeah.
just going to bloom. There's no doubt about it. So let us give them the applause that the Azi people
No, yeah. No,
have
and I
got.
really encourage. I know they have been supporting. I mean, some of the elite. from around Azi and Je. I mean, if you saw, I did a short story just for about 2 minutes. If you saw, I cannot put them here right now, but if you saw the work that they have done, I mean, like 8 years ago, when that
Hmm.
parish was
Oh yeah.
abandoned, where everybody
Yeah.
ran away. I mean, that father, the first photo that he came there, he took, I think I also shared that image. He was standing in the middle of tall elephant grasses. The
Yeah.
roof was almost covered with grass, and but I think if you look at the state of the church right now, and I mean, you will be amazed that somebody from nowhere will come and get into that place alone,
Hmm.
stationed there with a little help that they were able to support. He's
Right.
not living there. I mean, life is coming back to that place.
Yeah.
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 So,
Life will come back.
so I want to thank you so much for your time this morning time. I hope if Mbemba, even Mbemba doesn't send you, you also volunteer your own time to come here and share your own view.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank
And
you. And
I thank you for being the voice of I mean using Gaza media to be the voice of the community and the world at large. Thank you very much.
yeah, I do appreciate. Yes, you have a wonderful Sunday or
You
Saturday
too.
rather. Yeah.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye. So, dear viewer, we finally come to the end of this program, Press Time. Still, one of us in the media sphere was shot dead by Charles Aminder. So, we'll continue to advocate for what is stood for suppression of information. Suppression of press has been an issue in our community. And with that, I will leave us with this short song to continue his memory of France.